If you sell water purifiers to end customers and you have a showroom, attend trade fairs, do in-home demonstrations, or conduct site inspections, then this video will show you something that no one else in the industry has ever told you. Let's get started. There are 8 phrases that actually sabotage your sales, and you might even be causing them yourself, obviously, without realizing it, or your sales agents and representatives might be causing them. You certainly notice that you or your sales agents work hard. You notice that you are building the company with hard work. And every day you find yourself face to face with customers who are increasingly indecisive, more suspicious, slower to make decisions, and all those things. But this is because of, let's say, the bad publicity that is obviously present in the industry. However, you still want to close more deals, but without having to fight every time over the price or other issues. So you want to feel in control and no longer at the mercy of every negotiation, and this certainly applies to your sales agents as well. Now, you might think that the problem lies with the end customers themselves, but the truth is that the problem isn't just the end customer. The problem isn't just your sales technique, but the real issue might actually be the water purifier itself, the water dispenser you're offering, the one you have in your catalog. Because if the product you sell or rent doesn't immediately, almost on its own, address the objections or doubts your customer has in mind, then every negotiation turns into a battle that, well, is hard to win, harder and harder to win. And the further we go with time, the harder it will be to win. So maybe you think that just explaining the water dispenser is enough to close the deal, that all you need to do is explain the types of filtration, the substances it removes, those kinds of things. But explaining it is no longer enough, because if the customer doesn't perceive an immediate benefit from your water dispenser, they'll immediately change their mind or look for alternatives, and so they'll postpone making a decision with you. This means you'll delay getting contracts signed, or you might even lose them altogether. So I want to list for you the 8 most common phrases from end customers that could block or slow down your negotiations, as well as those from your sales agents. Let's start. Phrase number 1. It's too expensive. How many times, if the customer doesn't see a clear difference between your purifiers and the cheaper ones, then they focus entirely on the price, and so your purifier is seen as a cost and not as an investment, or at any rate, not as a benefit that outweighs the cost of the subscription or the purchase. Phrase number 2, I can't afford it. If you don't show how much your system, your installation actually saves your end customer over time, the price obviously becomes a barrier. And it doesn't matter what kind of service you offer, because if you don't also provide payment options that are convenient for the customer will hesitate. Phrase number 3, I don't know the brand. This can happen to you if you have a new brand, maybe one dedicated to a specific sector, for example, dedicated only to restaurants or only to families. Or maybe you are new to the industry. Without genuine testimonials, real reviews, your brand, your label doesn't exist in the customer's mind. So in case of doubt, they will choose the one they've already heard of, even if it offers a slightly worse service. Phrase number 4, it's too new. I don't trust it. Why? This happens because new things without proof are risks, and so no one buys a risk. Do you have any tests? Do you have any objective results? Do you have real demonstrations of your water dispensers? You need to show that if you are offering extremely innovative water dispensers, that's a great thing, but you have to demonstrate visually, you have to show physically that they are truly superior products. Phrase number 5, I've heard some criticism, or sometimes it could even be, well, I saw that you have some negative reviews online. If your water dispenser looks identical to the others, then every negative review, even if it doesn't concern you, still affects you, and so you can't dispel any doubts. This means that if the end customer confuses the physical product, and maybe you have a water dispenser that's similar to others that have bad reviews online, those bad reviews will also be associated with your water dispenser. So it's important that you have a water dispenser that stands out from the crowd. Phrase number 6, I already have another supplier. This can happen if you sell or rent in sectors like HoReCa or offices, because if your water dispenser doesn't offer a visible advantage within 5 seconds, why should they switch? This is especially true if you also rent in environments like public institutions, government facilities, schools, hospitals, companies, and so on. Phrase number 7, I need to think about it or discuss it with my partner. This is terrible. If you don't create a real sense of urgency, not a fake one, but a real urgency, your end customer will postpone the decision about your water dispenser. And when they postpone, it's the same as disappearing. Phrase number 8, what I have still works well. Obviously, if you don't present your end customer with some kind of innovation, a perceived innovation, the customer will stay where they are because they don't want to take risks. And maybe you really do have a better water dispenser to offer them, but you can't make them feel it, you can't communicate it in the right way, and so they prefer not to change. Now ask yourself, how many of these phrases or similar ones do you hear every week? How many times have you found yourself justifying, defending, or over-explaining your services, your fees, your water dispensers? Maybe the problem isn't how you sell. Maybe it's what you're offering, what's in your catalog. Because if your water dispenser doesn't diffuse these objections, these false beliefs, these phrases the customer keeps repeating to themselves, you'll always have to scramble to fix things, making sales difficult for you, your agents, or your salespeople. But you're not in this business to make your life difficult, right? You're in this business because you want to make sales, close deals, and earn profits. So you don't want to sell just any product. You want to offer a water dispenser that, first of all, practically handles and manages objections on its own, gives you a profit margin, makes you feel respected by the customer, saves you time, and gives you confidence because it's reliable so you don't end up looking bad in front of your clients, and allows you to scale your business, not just survive. This means you can grow, expand, maybe into new geographic areas, maybe open a new showroom, attend more trade fairs, and so on. So the right product, the right water dispenser does a lot of this work for you, because if it presents itself well, it already communicates value and justifies the price on its own. So it also comes with proof, data, and of course you'll have testimonials and positive reviews that support these dispensers. So it turns the salesperson into a consultant rather than someone who just talks and presents catalogs and brochures. Today, the market no longer wants explanations, it wants easy decisions. Make life easy for your end customers. Now, this video has come to an end, but in the next videos I will show you how to choose a water dispenser that practically sells itself, how to build a presentation that anticipates and neutralizes all these false beliefs, these misconceptions that your end customers have in their minds, and how to get the customer to say yes without any negotiation. So if you want to stop struggling for every negotiation and every contract, then subscribe to the channel right here by clicking the button you see and activate the bell so that every time a new video comes out, you get a notification and stay up to date with this information. Bye!